Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, so today for those of you guys who don't know, I just walked away. I didn't just walk away from an engagement. I would say that I've been out of my engagement for about a month now, like officially. Not the back and forth, just kind of been in no contact as much as I can. And if really, how do I say this? I feel like I was threatening to leave. It was obvious that I should have left. But I don't think that my mind fully had made a decision until about a month ago. And when I say my mind is the reality of the circumstance, I knew this relationship wasn't going to last. You guys knew the relationship wasn't going to last. But I think that when you're attached to somebody or when you become attached to someone, for a woman, it's easier for me to let you burn the bridge with me so that by the time I'm done, like I'm completely done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I feel like that's what I did. I had the worst proposal. I mean, again, um, really not done with me in mind, almost done kind of like, here you go. Like, I don't know. I feel like the proposal for me said a lot. Okay. And I think in my relationship, okay, and I want to say with men, but I'm going to keep it to my relationship. Um, I think the person had a hard time understanding that the way a Pisces minds work, the way a woman, I mean, I don't know about all women, I can only speak for myself. But a lot of times, what I'm doing is collecting information, right? To make a decision. Because the reality of it is, as a woman, if I feel like my needs are not getting met within a dynamic or a relationship or what have you, I will communicate that. And if I feel as though I'm not getting the answer that I feel like would make my thoughts a little bit clearer, if that makes sense. If I'm not getting an answer that eliminates the confusion, at some point, I have to be the one to make that answer. I have to be the one to make the decision. So I feel like as a woman, I did go to this man because I know when you guys are watching my videos, it's like, oh, she's kind of probably hard. I've been through a lot of shit with this person. And realistically, I knew that I was supposed to walk away 3 months into the relationship. Okay. But because there's this notion that Black women, we don't stick it out, we leave at any chance we get, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, the behavior is not impacting me. Let me just see. It could be me. Maybe I'm tripping. Let's see. Let me give this a shot. I had no reason to give it a shot. Okay. I was going through things that, for example, I know I did a video and I touched on how this person tried to sabotage my place of employment. And well, they didn't try, they did. And so as a result, I lost my job. And I ended up I had just bought my home and I was like, okay, the only person I really knew here outside of my family was this individual who helped me get my home. And I felt like, I mean, there were times where I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do this. Like even with the struggle of, now I'm really struggling, right? Because I don't have a job, I lose my car, all these things start to happen. And I got real bills, like real bills, right? So my mindset was like, okay, maybe I should stick it out and get him to kind of fix what he fucked up, right? Well, he fixed it ish. But obviously I work with a completely different company now and whatever. But I think that a part of me was making excuses because I didn't necessarily want to lose the opportunities that I had already like created for myself. So I stayed as a result of, hey, I guess to some degree I probably felt a bit of fear of walking away, and I don't understand the fear really. I think part of the fear was because I had lost my job and I just was fearful. But I don't believe that this person, how can I say this, was meant to really come with me after I had bought my home. So had I closed on my condo and been like, you know what, I'm good on you, I feel like my life circumstances probably would look a little different. That's just really how I feel. However, shit happened. I'm now in this situation. I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? And for the sake of, I guess, security, I stayed with this person. Now, with that being said, there wasn't much security on my end with this person, even without a job, meaning that even when I lost my job, it was all of my business income paying my bills. And because I had spent so much time with this person, some of my bills were a lot lower than they are now, but that's because I was rarely home. Right. But in terms of my mortgage, in terms of my electric, any bill, any piece of furniture outside of my bed, which was supposed to be a gift, everything I bought and paid for out of my own money. Okay. Um, so with that being said, I could not count on this person really. So I kind of lived with them, but not lived with them, if that made sense. So meaning that I was at his house every day, but I had my own condo, right? But I was at his house because he felt like if I didn't have a job, being at his house was most beneficial for me. I don't really know that the thought was, hey, maybe your bills will be lower. I genuinely believe some of that was to keep tabs on me now that I'm looking back. But it also, this person happened to have a niece and a nephew who are real young who just happened to come into the picture, something I did not sign up for. And now the family needed somebody to watch their kids. But my frustration came in is y'all ain't paying me. These folks ain't paying me what they would be paying me to run no daycare. You feel what I'm saying? So at some point, the idea sounded good. But at some point, I had to wake up and realize we're not playing house. I still got my own shit because this man made very clear I still got my own shit. And so at some point, it's my own shit or these kids. So I had to make a decision and say, you know what? Y'all need to be taking care of y'all's kids. This ain't got shit to do with me, right? I don't have kids just to be having them. And I earned my right to live my life without a bunch of little kids attached to my hip, especially when I'm not getting paid what a daycare provider would be getting paid to watch both kids. Okay. So I made that clear. Family didn't have a choice but to agree. What are you going to do? You know, I'm not living with this man has no, I mean, what are y'all going to do? So I decided then, like I know deep down I should have walked away a long time ago, but I'm staying in this relationship. Dude hits me with, hey, I'm about to propose to you. Just give me a little bit. I'm thinking, okay, for you to beg for me back and talk about how you're gonna propose to me and all this extra shit, I expected that proposal to at least, at bare minimum, we go out to dinner. Dress up, go out to dinner. I didn't even get that. So my proposal experience with this person was very lazy. It was not well thought out, very low effort, which again made me question this person's. sincerity. I actually laughed when they proposed because I thought it was a joke. Like, and I said it to this person. None of these things made this person realize, damn, this probably ain't the right way to go. Right. But these are natural reactions that I'm having. So none of this has been addressed. Right. Okay. I'm like, okay, this is what I stayed for. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, one, I didn't want to, and I tell you guys this, that I kind of went along with the proposal because I had never been proposed to, right? And it doesn't mean I've had options and opportunities to be proposed to, but I've turned all of them down before I got to that point. So here I am, and I'm like, okay, maybe the proposal will change something, right? Maybe it'll change something. Okay. So now we're here 5 months into the relationship. The only time we're ever able to talk about the engagement and the future as to what we want is when he wants to talk about it. If I want to talk about it, it's met with hostility, aggression. So naturally, that puts a woman in a space where, fuck, I'm not about to talk to you about this no more, which naturally decreases my excitement to be engaged, which naturally puts me in a position where I'm like, why the fuck am I engaged to begin with? See how these things, again, men act like their actions do not, there's no effect. So now I'm at a point where I don't want to talk. See, and another thing, let me back up. We was outside one day and we went on a date with another couple. First time both of us meeting this girl. The girl, tell me why the girl in this, the girl none of us know, came out and clocked his shit before I said anything. I was just low-key irritated, and I'm trying not to disrespect him in public. But when the girl who's actually engaged too got engaged around the same time, even has a better looking ring than I do, calls him out for being low effort, cheap, and everything else, you know how embarrassing that was as a woman? And then for this man to not understand that that's a fucking problem is a problem. Like, in my mind, how stupid can you possibly be? Let me give y'all another example. Valentine's Day is here. I'm thinking, okay, my man is my Valentine. I'm going to be with him for Valentine's Day. Whoop, 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 right? Not one time on Valentine's Day did I ever in this relationship spend time by myself with my Valentine. My time was spent with his family, annoyed. Okay. Now, the first Valentine's Day, because I've been with him for 2 Valentine's Days. First Valentine's Day, we go out to lunch with his mom and his dad. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. Like, it's during the day, whatever. Like, okay, my man might have something more planned for us at night or whatever. And at this time, we hadn't been together for me because I'm not a girl that's going to go above and beyond for a man. I got trust issues. I feel like as a man, if you're pursuing me, it is on you to figure shit out. It is not on me to go above. So this would not have been the time for me to plan a date. Hey babe, where do you want to go? Let me take you to dinner for Valentine's Day. That is the wrong answer. Okay. But we go on this date. We're with his mom and his dad. And I'm thinking, okay. So as a woman, like if I like your presence, even just being alone with you at the house is fine with me. You see what I'm saying? We get from this little thing, we get to his house. And I remember getting in the elevator. And because I don't remember if we had already went grocery shopping or if we were leaving to go grocery shopping, but it was like a Costco run, which I found to be very odd on a Valentine's Day. Like, realistically, as a woman, you're not wanting to go deal with Costco and shit, right? So We're in the elevator and a white man, he's an older man, him and this dude are talking, right? And the dude is like, well, yeah, we just got back from whatever, and we're gonna go do Costco. However, that good. Basically, the white man found out we was grocery shopping at Costco. Let's put it that way. Whether we had already picked up the groceries or went to go get them, I'm pretty sure we were leaving to go meet his mom to get the groceries. Weird shit. Even the white man said, grocery shopping at Costco? He said that's a little odd for a Valentine's Day date, don't you think? And he said it. The white man said it, but the black man is so fucking stupid that he how is it that everybody else can see when you fucking up but you? Again, these are things that I pay attention to. I probably could have talked about it, but I also felt like there's a time and a place, right? So I'm going through this engagement. I can't talk about what I want for a wedding because this dude was like, you know what? We gonna go down to the courthouse. We gonna get married. But I'm thinking, nigga, I got money too. Like I can invest my funds in what I want to do. And for me, I expressed to him, it's very important that I wear one of those dresses for me. Because I've never gotten to experience wearing a prom dress. I never had that experience. I've never had an experience to wear a ball gown. So I would think that as my future husband, that's important to you. I'm even like, shit, if I buy the ball gown, like it ain't like I'm broke in this situation. I could pay for the ball gown. I could finance the ball gown. I just want to be able to wear it. So I think because everybody is asking me, when is the wedding? When is the wedding? When is the wedding? When is the wedding? I think because it seems like your family wants to be a part of this, we should do a small gathering somewhere, right? I got an attitude for that. I was just shut down for that. Okay. Expressed to the man, I said, well, for me, because I'm a Pisces, so how my money works doesn't necessarily work for everybody else. I don't necessarily need to have $30,000 in the bank to come up with $30,000. This is what people don't understand. When you understand manifestation, you understand that sometimes the hardcore number you don't necessarily have to have because God is going to find a way. Just like my home. I didn't know how I was going to pay for this. I knew I could afford monthly payments on a home. But realistically, when I had started renting and everything else, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to come up with a down payment. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I got other responsibilities, right? But God made a way. And I've noticed that's how it always works with my goals. I can't tell everybody else about their goals. And there is a law, it's called manifestation, but I'm just saying this is really a thing for me. So I'm trying to tell him none of my goals have ever been accomplished by me having a set number in my bank account. No, sir. And I don't necessarily believe in saving as much as I believe in investing and making more money. So I'm a little different in that area. I believe, like, for example, when I'm struggling on my bills, where I was before, I think I was only making 55 when I moved out into my own space, right? And had my own apartment again. But what I was able to do, I think I started maybe less than that, maybe 55, 50, something like that. I started kind of low. Moved out, got my own apartment again by the grace of God. I had evictions that I was able to pay off somehow. Again, this was not money saved in my bank account. It just came to me and I was able to pay off a crap ton of debt. Okay. I get into the space. I'm now living because I ended up getting a raise, within the 2 years that I was at this place. I ended up living below my means, which was very helpful. However, I still need money to come up with this $2,000-$3,000 Well, really, I would say about $5,000 is really what, I think is a safe cushion for what I was dealing with. I probably spent about four, but still, I didn't have the money. So, like I was explaining to this person, I'm like, look, if you give me something to work towards, this isn't your goals on your terms. This is something that I would want to do. Meaning that if we could agree, hey, to something small, guaranteed I'd have figured out how to make that work. That's I feel like my life is a reflection of that. Not the case, right? Time goes by and I'm realizing this man really don't want to be engaged with me, to me. I don't understand what was the point in being engaged or trying to be engaged with me. Like I really don't get it. He was in an interracial relationship prior to, and the girl got a dinner. She was able to dress up. He dressed up, and they were out to dinner during this engagement. you know so naturally, as a Black woman, I'm only feeling like maybe you just don't like me like that. You feel me? And I have been feeling like that. Like, again, these things, I don't know how men don't see these things when they're dealing with a woman, because in my opinion, everybody made it clear. Like, even the strangers involved made it clear. So for me, giving the age of this person, I have to assume these things are being done on purpose, right? So then, further down the line, things are happening, more things are happening. And I think finally my body just kind of shut down. Like, I was in a real breakdown. Like, I have not melted down. I mean, to the point where I was just crying. Everything made me fucking cry that day. Everything. And then when I got into his I called on him because I'm like, yo, I really want a hug. Like, I need a hug. My thing is, I don't need you to try to understand where I'm at right now. I just need you to execute. So if I'm vocally telling you and I'm telling you, babe, I need a hug, why the fuck didn't I get a fucking hug? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm in the car. This man wants me to pay for dinner, all this weird shit, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, but I have not been taken care of yet. I am still sad. I am still feeling like this. And what made me more irritated is that the man that was supposed to be the person that I'm supposed to be engaged with, let me tell you something. I'm learning, just like when a man takes a woman home to meet his parents, engagement don't mean shit. Taking a woman home, you know how many boys I done met that took many women home? This shit don't mean you special. You know how many mamas I done met in my lifetime? Every man that dates me feels like I need to talk to his mom. That's a fact. I've never not dated a man. I mean, unless it was like a quick thing, right? But I've never been in a relationship where I didn't meet the man's mom or dad. So, in my opinion, engagement is very similar. And I'm looking at it from this standpoint because now I got to look at the man that I'm supposed to be marrying. So I'm breaking down. I finally go off on him because I'm already, keep in mind, I done already left work early. So everybody who knows me knows I'm dealing with something right now, including him. So after he does what he does, I'm now going off on him, but not going off on him. He started to take me home, which made me madder. So now I'm like, fuck this, man. Niggas ain't shit. And this is how I'm feeling. Like, I'm really starting to say, but I'm also a little tipsy. I had a couple shots and I'm crying, right? And been crying. I'm tired. I'm fed up. So yeah, I'm gonna talk my shit because you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing as a fucking man in this relationship, right? Even to the point of taking it personal. Like I told him, I said, if I had a friend, right, who was drinking, who left work early, who I knew was going through emotional things, who everybody else, including her boss, everybody saw that she was dealing with something that day. If this was my friend, the last thing I'm going to do is record you while me and you may have some words. I may even tell you, bitch, fuck you. If I feel like I got to take it personal, right? But the last thing I'm going to do is sit and record you, mock you, and laugh at you. I'm not doing that shit. And I think that for me was it. That was it. That was it, because I'm kinder than that. I'm nicer than that. I don't move like that. I know when to not take shit personal and know when my friend is really hurting. This is a year and a half, almost 2 years of us dating. You done already engaged. Hell no. Hell to the fucking nah. Because what it tells me is if we was in a once we're married and I was really breaking down, I could not depend on my husband. So the only thing this man is doing is pushing me into the arms of somebody else. So whether it's a man or a female friend, it wouldn't fucking matter. Because obviously you've shown me that I can't be vulnerable with you. I can't trust you with my feelings. Period. So when he would try to replay that video back, my response to him was, did I lie about anything? Was anything that I said untrue? So who gives a fuck? I personally don't really see when I'm in that kind of space. That means it took a lot to get me there. That's what people are not understanding. So if I'm now speaking my mind and not fucking holding back and not thinking about how I say something before I say it, oh yeah, you push me there. You damn right. And right or wrong is irrelevant. This is a reaction. So I could give two fucks if you think it's right or wrong. I know that I work very hard to control my tongue when I'm around people that I love. You understand? So if I'm at a point where I don't care, you have honestly pushed me there. Okay? So now he's recording me. All right, cool. Do you think that's cute? Cool. All right. Well, now our relationship is kind of on the rocks. I'm trying to figure out, okay, do we really want the same things? Because again, this person, and keep in mind, up until I made it clear that I didn't want to do this shit with him no more. If I didn't spend time with him, it was a big deal. So like if my only days off are the weekends, but if I didn't find at least one day to spend the night with him, oh, that was a problem. And that meant that I would have to pack up my stuff after working a long full week to go over to his house and abandon my house to be with him. That's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. And he didn't understand, well, why? My house is nice and blah, blah, blah. Nigga, all my shit is in my house. The things I want to do is at my house. Even if I brought my stuff to your house, I'm in your house having to do things on your terms. So if you decide, hey, I want to go see my mom today, I got to go with you. Right? So all of this goes on, and I'm really at this point where I think this man wants a woman who is like his mom, who happens to be brown skinned like me, and who happens to be almost 70 years old and still getting abused by her husband. That's what I think this man was really thinking I should be. And I'm going to be clear. It's not like he treated the Caucasian woman he was with prior to me any better. I actually found out a lot after the situation of him recording me with her. And I kind of was irritated. Again, why didn't you disclose this? As many times I didn't ask, why haven't we talked about this sooner? Why are we doing this in the time and stage of being engaged? And then it seemed to me like this person had an emotional attachment to the issues that they had dealt with, despite being divorced, despite had all the shit. So I'm just peeping game. As a Pisces, one thing about us, I can act like I'm cool with you and listen. You can bet your bottom dollar I am listening to everything you say. This has always been how I am. So a lot of people talk and they don't realize what they're saying, but sometimes you just let them talk. And I even remember I asked a couple questions. He said, "Well, I'm being honest with you," like trying to act like he was, "I'm being honest with you, blah blah blah," like he's telling me something deep. And I just remember I told him, I said, "Man, I appreciate you being honest with me." I said, "All I'm doing, it allows me to just, I'm listening. I didn't really tell him a collected information, but I'm asking questions." I asked him a question. He said, "All I can do is be honest." That's cool. It's on me to do with what you're giving me. You don't know what I'm breaking down in my head as you're talking to me. But he never asked, even though he knew I was thinking. My brain was going. Okay, cool. All this time goes by and something else happened. And it wasn't this stuff was happening back to back at this point. I found out he was flirting with a girl on Facebook, but doesn't want to post me on Facebook. And I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not a fool. I knew why I wasn't being posted on Facebook. I had that conversation with him many times. But in my mind, I have already kind of checked out of this relationship. So you not posting me anymore, it was more of me really waking up and saying, is this the kind of relationship that I really want? Like me waking up and seeing everything that I had built for myself and knowing that this man has not put one penny in my house, one outside of this bed that I can afford. um, it really made me realize, like, I mean, I know I'm not a spring chicken anymore, right? I know I'm not, in my 20s anymore. But I do believe that if it isn't another relationship, it for damn sure is me. I'm going to make myself happy the way I need to be happy, regardless. You understand what I'm saying? When you have the financial freedom to do what it is that you want to do in life, and I'm not fully there, but I can do a little bit with myself. I don't have to beg you to give me flowers. I don't have to beg you to do certain things. So realistically, why am I doing it? Right? And I'm not saying I had to beg for flowers, but I'm just saying you get to a point where it's like, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't even treat myself a certain way. So why would I think, or why would I allow you to think that you treating me that way is okay? The biggest takeaway from this relationship, the biggest thing that I keep playing in my head as of right now, where I'm at in our breakup, is I felt like, see, because when I'm in a relationship with someone, I care, right? I care. And when I care about a person, I'm willing to compromise with a person. I'm not usually like that. Like in real life, every day, I don't compromise. But when I care about people and I feel like they care about me, I give you the entire world if I can. So, for example, this person told me once, because I took a picture well, I didn't take a picture. I was video recording the scene of our food and us getting food. Meanwhile, as I'm video recording the scene, there happens to be a black younger male in the photo, in the video. He's our server. So I'm not really thinking anything of it. Dude's been sitting right next to me. I'm the one who paid for the date, right? Don't ask, y'all. He paid for more dates than not. But this was another topic for another time. I paid for the date. I go ahead and just do a TikTok mashup, post it on social media. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal. You got to take him down, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. I didn't agree. I fought back. In fact, I believe that's one of our first arguments that we've had, to be honest with you. And then I came home and I was like, well, I started to feel bad, stupid, right? Started to feel bad. And I was like, well, maybe he has a point. Like I never had a relationship. To be honest, I never was in a relationship with a man who I perceived to be insecure. A lot of times I would just be like, nah, you too insecure for me. This ain't gonna work. However, we're 5, 6 months in, well, maybe not the first argument, but one of the first few. We're about, I would say 4 or 5 months in, and I'm trying to make this work. So even though I don't see it from your point of view, I want you to be happy. And so if it's something in my power that I can control to make you happy, that's what I'm gonna do. So even though I didn't agree, I still don't agree. There's still nothing I agree about that situation. In fact, I feel like that was a way to start an argument, which actually makes me more irritated because it's like the person didn't care about me being at peace, right? So when I talk about reciprocation, I'm realizing reciprocation is a lot deeper than I think how we throw it out there. Okay. Reciprocity is a lot deeper than how we throw it out there. The biggest thing in the last, before I would say it was about a month of me having these thoughts. And before I said, you know what, it's time, let's see other people. And to this day, this person is so hurt. They think I actually have someone new, which, I'm tired of talking. I made it clear. I feel like being accused of cheating falsely is actually very disrespectful. So if I can't control how you talk to me, I'm gonna remove myself, right? But over the last few months, a couple months, I just been sitting like, man, I really, because I look at my life and like, man, if we really had to be honest with my situation, this man has done nothing for me. Now, in the beginning, okay, cool, but eventually all that shit paid off itself anyway. So, okay, yeah, you loaned me 2500. I think he loaned me, well, maybe it was like 15. Either way, he loaned me like $1,500 or whatever at the very beginning to help me get my house. He was paid back in less than 3 days type shit. So it's never been anything to where this man has done something for me and I've been able to sit back and be like, man, my man did that. I mean, I got a bed that he ain't never slept in. So realistically, okay, the bed, all right, you bought that 2 years ago. That's not a reason for me to stay in the relationship 2 years later. So realistically, I had to realize in my life that everything I really have is because of me. My relationships I have is because of me. My money is because of me. Everything that I've built, my home, everything is because of me. And so when I look at it, it becomes now, okay, you got this man. All right, he's financially stable for himself. That's what he says, for himself. This is what he has said, not me. So he's letting me know financially he can't really do much for me. Right? He can loan me money as long as it's being paid back. He can't give me money. And I'm not the girl to be like, hey, you should give me some money. But I would think that when your girl has lost her job and she needs a little bit of money and you're offering to give it, I didn't ask, struggling, didn't even ask. Here's $200. Thank you, babe. Now just make sure you pay it back when you get it. Takes the love and all of that out of. So any time that I could have been like, oh, my man does this for me. Oh, my man is so amazing. He does all these things for me. He ruined it. He ruined it every single time. So the question that I really had to ask myself is, what has this man done for you? I'm still working hard. I'm actually working overtime now because not only am I working a job, but I'm also having to cater to him, a kid, and nobody takes anything off my plate. It even gets bad when I'm at his house and I'm doing dishes. Because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing dishes for? Realistically, don't nobody help me with dishes at my house. I'm doing dishes for this man that I didn't even dirty. And I'm gonna be real. I'm not the girl, to be honest with y'all, that does anybody's dishes or cook and all that shit. So don't get that in your head. The reality of it is this man didn't like dishes and he was cooking meals for me. So we got in the habit of, okay, well, you cook and I'll clean the dishes. Well, eventually, at some point, that meant, okay, if I ain't see him for a week, he let that sink stack up and then dishes just be there. So at some point, it's like I could clean, if we're going to do dinner, I might as well just clean all the dishes because I would have done that at my house. But occasionally I would get so irritated because I'm like, I still got dishes at my house. So what the fuck am I doing cleaning your dishes for you? The fuck? So all of these things I'm doing for this person, I don't think that I'm going above and beyond. But what I noticed is anything that I requested, I never got back in return. So you want me to take off this waiter that you was there for, that you know ain't nothing was going down between me and him, but you want me to get rid of him in this video. Okay, cool. Well, I see this video and we both got, certain glasses. I see this video of a girl's ass and it looks like he was recording it from his glasses. He told me, "Oh, well, that was up before you, so I'm not taking it down." All this shit is stuck with me. Keep in mind, asked to be posted on social media. We're engaged. I think that as a man who wants a woman, you would do what is necessary to keep her. So social media, I'm telling you that to me and to the world, really, you not posting me on social media looks bad. Actually, it looks like you're hiding something. Oh, I never got that. The world doesn't need to know my business. We're just going to break up anyway. Well, maybe if you'd have posted me, we probably wouldn't have broke up. Right. I think these things are things that men kind of overlook and when they just living their life and doing what they want to do. So all of these things are happening. I'm realizing, okay, but when you complain, I compromise. When you complain, I'm willing to work things out with you. When you complain, when you have needs, I'm making this work. My needs went unmet the entire relationship. And actually, when I expressed to this person, I think was the last couple months that I felt like I was in a one-sided relationship. They actually just laughed. It seemed like that was the one thing they knew what I was saying. And then they laughed, right? So my biggest thing is I did not realize that reciprocation. I don't think that I've been in a relationship long enough to where I even had a chance to really think about how in depth reciprocation is. And the last thing I wanted to do, and this is really part of the reason why I walked away, is reciprocity is key. You ain't gonna cry to me. I'm in a phase now where I don't want to hear about your needs. I'm gonna test you with my needs before you ever come to me. Like I know for a fact, and I'm sure as a woman there's a way to balance this. I haven't figured it out yet. Because this is a realization that I'm just coming to. But I know now that a man's ability to be tentative to my needs is important. And as a matter of fact, ignoring my needs it's not an option anymore. See, because I think that's the one biggest thing that really leads, at least for me, to breakups. Disrespect, right? Because that is actually a form of disrespect, but that's not the only way that I've been disrespected in this relationship. However, reciprocity, I don't give it. Like, I'm at a point where I'm gonna start treating dudes like how I treat my friends, how I treat colleagues. Well, maybe not my friends, but like my coworkers and stuff, for real. Because I'm not going really, at this point, I'm not going to give energy to a relationship at all where my needs go unheard, where my needs go unmet, where the person doesn't even try to meet me where I'm at. Try to meet me, compromise, bend, adjust. If the dude, this is why I guess for me, I'm so okay, fuck it. I'm done with my relationship. I'm done with the engagement. And he acts very surprised, like, oh, you were cheating on me. That's what he told me. You was cheating on me. You're engaged. You're pregnant. Okay. I'm at a point where I'm like, shit, you don't even get the argument of no, I'm not none of these things. If that's what you want to believe, cool. For me, if it's not benefiting me, I don't give a damn. I don't care. And low key, I've always been this way. I've been this way when he met me. It ain't nothing new. I just kept dragging out the clock. For reasons I felt like were good, but now that I ain't got those reasons, it's time to go. And they were good for me. I don't know about, stability wise. I don't know about anything else. So for me, that's the biggest lesson I've learned so far. And it's the one that my mind keeps replaying because it matters. It matters. Let me tell you something. I feel like, and when I really look at it, minus certain obviously there's certain other elements, but I feel like when you have a person that is willing to bend, that is willing to adjust, and I'm not the person that's going to ask the person, like I said, excuse me, I'm not going to really push my limits. I do have integrity. But when I am willing to do that for somebody that I love, and that person is not unwilling to do that for me, that person doesn't love me. That's not love. Not at all. So reciprocity, and even in the way that we meet each other's needs, is very important. To me asking him to take down that video of that girl's butt shouldn't have been the issue, because I had no problem taking down this video. I really don't understand why I'm taking it down. I mean, most people would understand why your girl will be asking you to take down a video of you looking at somebody's butt, but I digress, right? I digress. I did it. I did something. I should have got what I was asking for in return. And to be honest, I didn't ask for it right away because I didn't see it right away. But the moment I saw it, all right, babe, you know what? No problem. I don't want to see you stress. I'll take it down. That's how that should have went. It did not go that way. So I am done giving to people who refuse to give to me. I'm not a bum. I don't need you. So if I have somebody in my life and I think this person got way too comfortable thinking I needed them, I don't know why. Just like I was telling their family, this man, everything he thinks y'all think he did for me, that was me. This was my money. My money was spent, just like my home. They questioning him on whether or not he helped me get my house. He said, even if I had the money to pay for her house, she still had to have the credit. But honestly, I wouldn't even said nothing. Nah, she got her house. That was her money. Yeah, you loaned me, but when I got to turn around and pay that back, that's my money. It's me paying for this shit. So, that's the biggest thing. I think so far, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is reciprocity is so much deeper than what I thought it was. But it also shows up in areas where your needs are met. So if I'm working to help meet the needs of somebody else, I need that in return. Otherwise, for me, it's a waste of my time. So let me know what y'all think down in the comments below about reciprocity. With that being said, y'all, I'm out. Peace.